Guys, this is Wolfie. Today, the San Francisco 49ers played the Saints in a preseason game. It was pretty fun to watch. So let's go ahead and break it down and just see how it goes. I'm trying to be a little bit quiet. Usually I'm like excited, but it is pretty late. It is 10:46. So I'm going to reel it in a little bit here. Okay. Hold on one second. All right. So let me go ahead and bring up the scoreboard. So you guys are just looking at my face. You know what I mean? I personally don't have a problem with my face, but some people do. All right, so here's the game, 10-16 right here. I keep forgetting it doesn't just automatically throw it onto the page. I keep forgetting about that. All right, so San Francisco 49ers beat the Saints 16-10. There were some players, I want to talk real quick about the Saints right now. There were some players that some Saints were interested in looking into, like, okay, keep an eye out for this guy and stuff. Some of those players actually showed up, and that was actually kind of interesting to see. I think it was Rajon Wright or whatever. He popped up a lot. That's actually a really good corner they have, I think. I think they got a gem with that guy from what I saw. Then I saw Bub Memes show up too. So if you're a Saints fan and you happen to see this, there was a couple players that I brought up that you guys were interested in looking in, according to an article, and I think you got a couple studs over there. So let's go ahead and just look at the roster real quick. The roster with the pasta. All right, so as you can see here, I currently have the roster up. So we'll just go ahead and go through each position and kind of be like, okay, who did good, who didn't do good in this game? Because there were some duds, there were some studs. Yes, I just did that. Okay. So anyway, who started this game was Brock Purdy. Apparently the starters were supposed to take over this game. And I was like, okay, that's cool. You know, Brock Purdy's going to have some players out there and do their thing. But if you really think about it, Brock Purdy's starters on the offensive line was quite literally just McKivitz and Brendel, who are terrible. So he was literally thrown out there in the fire, like as if he's not going up for a new contract next year to get paid a lot of money. Coming to learn, I thought that we were going to get a lot more starters. I truly thought that Kittle was going to be in there to help protect Purdy a little bit with the blocking, because I knew blocking was going to be an issue. And I already knew that Banks was hurt and Williams wasn't there. So I already know when I was told that the starters were going to play, I was a little concerned already. But knowing that everyone didn't play and the only person that played, the only three people that played on offense was Brock Purdy, Brendel, and McKivitz. So I'm anything that Brock did in there, at least he got the experience of having his ass on fire and getting his ass beat, because that's exactly what happened. He got laid out twice, sacked. Dude was scrambling for his life. It was terrible. I didn't see I had to go back and watch the highlights to check it out because I missed that part of the game. I went to go back and watch it, and he got his ass beat. Brock Purdy was getting destroyed. So I don't want to – Brock Purdy's our quarterback. So if you want to say this preseason made him look bad, made him look rough, why is he like this? Who gives a shit? You know, it's what he does in the games that matter, especially since he is our starting quarterback. There's nothing to prove here. So you can say he played rough. You can insult him all you want. It doesn't change what he's done in the NFL games. It doesn't change what he's done in the regular season, playoffs, heck, even the Super Bowl. So, yeah. I am a little baffled that they put Brock Purdy out there with pretty much the second string, and with all the injuries we currently have, and with him getting hit the way he was, there is a little bit of a concern there. So anyway, next on to the next quarterback, Joshua Dobbs. Holy crap, did he play good? Holy crap, was he electric? Did he want it? He wanted this. Joshua Dobbs wanted this. I put him as green here. Let me make sure it's up. Okay, it's up, yeah. I put him as green here because he officially solidified himself as the second string quarterback. After I watched that game against the Saints, and the heart, you saw the passion and the escapability, and that, like, I understand him being all hyped about preseason players, but knowing that he's capable of making plays off script, knowing that he's willing to take the hit, the heart, and sometimes he makes great decisions, and he's kind of got like a bullet of a pass. I like him. I think he's going to be our second quarterback. No questions about it. I'm not concerned. The But however, the third quarterback's a little rough because we don't know if we're keeping 3 quarterbacks or 2, especially with that rule where you can keep 3 with the injured one or whatever. So I just put them both as orange because I don't know who's going to take it because Tanner Mordecai did look pretty good. Larry got all excited. He was super excited about it. I wasn't as high as – I didn't think he was that good. Like, oh, my God, he might even take the second spot from Dobbs. I wouldn't go there. Dobbs got the spot. Tanner Mordecai and Brandon Allen are fighting for that spot. So I can imagine personally, I think Brandon Allen is still in the lead for the spot. However, Tanner Mordecai next game, I'm pretty sure is going to get some reps because he did show something. So it's possible that we're going to see a battle between Tanner Mordecai and Brandon Allen in the second half next week. Because I don't know who's starting, who's playing, but I know for a fact they would play Brandon Allen and Tanner Mordecai in the second half for sure. So that would be kind of exciting to see. I'm actually looking forward to that. So moving off of quarterbacks, running backs, CMC didn't play. Jordan Mason was hurt, people. He was hurt. He was out due to a minor injury. So that's why he didn't play. He didn't play because he was sat. He didn't play because he was hurt. Elijah Mitchell didn't play. Schrader got all the carries. I'm pretty sure he played the whole game. Oh, except for Matt Breida. I take that back. Sorry. Totally forgot about Matt Breida. Why are we playing Matt Breida? We already know what he is. We already know what he can do. I want to see I want to see Elijah Mitchell. I want to see P. Taylor. I want to see him out there. I'd rather see those two instead of Matt Breida. I already know what he is. You know what I mean? And I guess you already know Mitchell is too, now that I think about it. I'm just saying you should have mixed in P. Taylor there, at least. It just seemed weird to put just Breida and that's it. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing I kind of disagree on. And, of course, the running backs really didn't do anything. Schrader had a 9-yard run. That's about it. Breida balled out against second-string, third-string players. And he's always been good. He's familiar with Kyle Shanahan's scheme, so that kind of makes sense too as well. But no one's game planning against Matt Breida. So, yeah, I just don't expect much from Schrader because of our offensive line woes. It is so huge. And the announcers even brought it up with the Saints because Saints were having injuries left and right. I think they had 2 to their offensive line. I could be wrong, but I know there was 1 for sure. Offensive line for both teams was atrocious and bad, apparently. So it's really wearing thin. So tight ends, Kittle didn't play. Salbert played. Willis played. Tungus played. I'm pretty sure Salbert played. Yeah, he played. Willis played. Willis caught some balls. Tungus, he caught some balls. He played pretty good. Cameron Latu, he caught balls. And I was like, oh, my God, he got a ball. He got it. It's in his hands. And he fell. But then, the first half, he was fine. I thought Latu was fine. Once the second half kicked in, dude, he was dropping balls. And I guess he did drop one, a little bit before the second half started. But, he looked all right, And then he made a block when Dobbs, I think, was going to the left. He made a block. So he showed potential. Latu did. But then in the second half, it all fell apart. The dude just was dropping balls. He created his own fumble when he was, already breaking a tackle. And then he dropped it. And then he went to go recover it. It was the weirdest thing. Latu's not making this team. If anyone picks him up, whatever. But he's definitely making the practice squad. I would not doubt that at all whatsoever. Offensive I'm not even going to address that right now because we already know how I feel about it. Offensive line was atrocious. Asking for a quarterback to get hurt. Asking for the running backs to not do well. Offensive line's bad. Trade, sign, do what the fuck you need to do. I don't care. That was just embarrassing on all fronts. All fronts. You have a starting quarterback who's going to get paid millions and millions of dollars, and you're fucking around by giving him this trash offensive line. You think people are just made of adamantium? He's fucking Wolverine? Dude, I don't understand. He's 24 years old, so he's got that bone density. He'll be fine. What is the thought process of looking at offensive line and thinking it's not important? That the only important position on the offensive line is the left tackle. That seems the only position on the offensive line they give a shit about. And I do not understand that at all. That's my rant on that. Moving on. Fucking bullshit. D end. Nick Bosa didn't play. Floyd didn't play. G. Manos only got 1 tackle, but I actually saw him a couple times. I thought he was pretty good. Larry wasn't really high on him, but I saw the way I paid attention to him a little bit. I did see one where he got stuck on a tackle, so that was bad. That was a bad look. but I did pay attention to him, and I don't think he was great or good, but he definitely didn't play bad, I don't think. So Beal Jr., I heard one person say he did great. I think Damon Bruce said he did great, and then Larry says he didn't do great. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic when they talk about it. I didn't see much of Beal Jr., though. So Jay Gavin either. Nothing from the DNs. I mean, the whole entire – let me just talk about the line. Okay, the entire line. Hargrave didn't play. Collins didn't play. Ellie didn't do shit. Givens didn't do shit. Anderson didn't do shit. T.Y. McGill kind of did stuff. Shaquille Brown blocked, kind of like almost did a fumble thing. Nick Williams hurt himself. It's so bad, dude. Okay, so the D-line's not the worst in the league, but obviously here. But when it comes to run defense, it's like you see these names, you're thinking to yourself, okay, this is such a good line. But then you're thinking to yourself, why is the run defense so bad? Why is it every year the run defense is so bad? And you're looking at this roster, and you're thinking to yourself, why? Like Elliott is supposed to be a run stopper. You're not seeing it. Kivin's supposed to be a run stopper. You're not seeing it. Gross Matos, run stopper. I didn't see it there either. So there are concerns with his run stopping because I had to see a little bit. I mean, there were players out there that were depth for run stopping that didn't do anything. So that is concerning on a lot of levels. Linebacker. Fred Warner didn't play, obviously. Devondre Campbell played. I think he got a tackle and assist, and that was it. So he didn't really do much. The all-star linebacker was Jalen Graham. He was a stud. He was everywhere. He was all across the field. He was pretty much Winters of last week, but this week, except for I think he played better than Winters did last week. So Winters had some holes. Graham did not. It was all him. Fouls, he's there. Curtis Robinson had a little deflection. I thought that was pretty cool. He's showing up. I think it's possible that he's more than a specials teamer and actually might make this roster. I don't know how with all the linebackers we have, but he's turning out to be pretty good. Ezekiel Turner is going to be cut. Bethune, people were high on him. They thought he played great. They really did. But if I can show you the film, there was not back-to-back, but it might as well have been back-to-back plays against Bethune in the passing game where he got played. There was one where he was kind of like an out. It was like a first down for sure, and it was an out. Goes up, took an out, and Bethune was played. He got played, and there was another one. It was again out, got played. He's slow, so I'm not really trying to hold it too much against him. But if he's going to make this team, he's got to figure out a way to make up for that. I'm not as high on him as everyone else is from what I saw. I did see him everywhere. Don't get me wrong, but I did see him get played in the passing game when he was covering. So let's keep an eye on that, in my opinion. Quarterback short, Ward didn't play, Lenore didn't play, Yadam didn't play. So it was Green, Luter, Rockison, and Womack is all played. Green was really good. He had a nice pass breakup on an out. He was sticky. Green looked really good. I'm actually kind of excited about that. Luter, he had like one or two bad plays, but outside of that, I think he really picked it up and he showed potential, not to be a starter, but he definitely looks like he could be in the future. As of right now, he's definitely worthy of a depth spot. Womack, that's so disappointing. The dude had 2 interceptions in one preseason game 2 years ago, and after that, he fell apart. He's been, I don't know, that's like the most ultimate ghost move. It's so weird to me. So Womack's gone, I'm pretty sure, and I don't think anyone's going to pick him up either. And if we lose him, I think we can get a replacement that would be just as good. And that's disappointing because I had a lot of high hopes for him. Safety, Jair Brown, Mustafa. Jair Brown was a stud. He had a nice run stop. It was like he brought, like the guy literally just got the ball. And as he was breaking it, he was coming forward. Jair Brown was boom, just took that guy out. It wasn't a Mustafa hit like the one last week, but it was a pretty good hit. It was a pretty good stop. So that's exciting. Our safeties are studs. T. Walker, he didn't do very good. I'm very high on T. Walker, and he didn't do very good. I'll be honest with you. He didn't do very good. Kind of let me down. Mahoney played better than him. But on the bright side, if T. Walker isn't the guy, it's easier to cut him. So there's the bright side of that. As for Mahoney, if he can keep up keep doing his doing, because I saw him make some pretty good tackles in this game. And I mean, he's an undrafted free agent. This draft class might be the best draft class under Kyle Shanahan ever. It might very well be. And I'm super excited about that. All right, so we went through the entire roster already, who played, who I like to make the roster, and who I think solidified themselves as either the second quarterback, etc., throughout the roster. So the stars of the game, I'm going to give the third star to Graham, Jalen Graham. I thought he was a stud. He was all over the field. He got a sack. He got a stop. He was just, I can't remember all the stuff that he did. I know he got a sack, and I know he had a big run stop and a pass breakup. Like, he was everywhere. He was making plays. I know that for a fact. And I got to give it to him. It was between him and Mustafa and Curtis Robinson. Those are honorable mentions there. But just Graham was just everywhere, and he was doing more than just one thing that was impressive, and I'm pretty excited about Graham. My second star would have to go to Joshua Dobbs. That dude, stud. I already talked about it earlier. The heart in him, the passion, the fire, the ability to stay on his feet is quite impressive. Like 3 or 4 times, I thought that dude should have been tripped up and tackled. Any other quarterback would have been, but he didn't. He is definitely a second quarterback, and I think he can actually win us games. He's just not a practice guy. I just don't think he's a practice guy, and that's okay, because practice is practice. You're allowed to make mistakes, all right? But if you're going on the game and you're playing like the way he did, I don't give a shit. He's definitely the second quarterback. The number one star of this game is a rookie. It is a wide receiver, Jacob Cowing. That dude was a stud, dude. He was on fire. He was catching plays left and right. He caught a deep pass for Joshua Dobbs onto the 5-yard line. He was catching intermediate routes, tough ones. He got laid out, got hit hard on one of them, still held onto the ball. He did drop one, kind of not really drop it. It's like on his hands and it fell. But seriously, he was, yeah. But other than that, he was everywhere. He looks like a steal, a gem in this. He looks like a gem from this draft, and I'm pretty excited with Pearsall's injury as well too. This is a good problem to have, because Pearsall is supposed to take that place. What Jacob Cowing is doing right now is what Pearsall is supposed to be doing. So it may not be Pearsall, but at least it's somebody from this rookie class that's stepping up and being like just super impressive. So let's just go, Tyler Hilton. Welcome to the team, bro. Welcome to the fucking stream. I probably shouldn't curse because that's probably gonna get me kicked off, but welcome. So those are my studs. I thought Jacob Cowing, I'm super excited about him. And Brock Purdy and Jacob Cowing already have rapport from what I've heard. So if he's doing this with Joshua Dobbs already and Brock Purdy doing pretty good, I'm excited about Jacob Cowing. He's got the number one star in this game. He's only had one bad practice through his OTAs, minicamp, and training camp. And that bad practice was just him coming back from a hamstring injury. Literally the next day, he was an all-star. So look out for Jacob Cowing. I already told you my honor mentions with Mustafa. He had a really big hit. Curtis Robinson had a pass breakup that I thought was pretty cool. So, yeah. We got a Kansas City Chiefs fan in here, man. That's crazy. As a Kansas Chiefs fan, look, football season is back. I'm trying not to be too loud because it's like super late, but I really want to be like, it's back. Oh. Just want you to feel that. I'm trying to pass on that love for football through the camera so that Tyler Helton can feel that love. All right. So, and then, see if there's anything else. No, that pretty much covered everything in the game. I told you my stars, honorable mentions. There was some bad players. There's some bad apples, I think, in this game, but I'm not going to get too in-depth in them. I think I already talked about them when I went over the roster, because I don't want to sit here and keep screaming at players over and over again that have always been an issue, such as the offensive line. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I mean, that's everything. I want to point out, by the way, there's one thing. We were told that the 49ers were going to have starters who were going to play today. There was 5. I counted 5. Okay. Brock, Brendel, and McKivitz, Jair Brown, and Devondre Campbell. That's it. And we were told starters? Dude, that's not starters, bruh. I know there's injuries, but wow. That's crazy. I'm shocked Kyle Shanahan put Brock Purdy out there without some sort of assurance of Juwan Jennings, Debo, or even Kittle. Something. So, Tyler Hilton has a comment. Says, I've been watching wrestling since off season. I'm not a wrestling guy, but I constantly see it on my FYP, man. It's a big sport. People love it. I respect it. It's an opera. It's a drama. I can see why people get into it. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. And that's kind of the bright side for like people who love wrestling. Like that's actually, I'm kind of jealous in that sense because that way I can actually watch wrestling. And then when football comes back, I can just switch, kind of like what you're doing. So, yeah. So I'm a little jealous, but I'm glad football is here. But football is here, though. So I hate Las Vegas Raiders, also known as clowns. I expect you to. You're a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I used to hate the Raiders when they were in the Bay Area. I kind of had – it was just natural, and I should. And I know there's like a little bit of history with the San Francisco 49ers, but it's not as tight as like the Cowboys or like the Seahawks, someone in the division kind of type deal. The Raiders, I do not – I'm not saying I hate them, but I also don't like them either, if that makes sense. So, and there's no reason to hate them right now for me personally. They're not in my division. They're not in my conference, and they suck. They suck. They are bad. Gardner Minshew is their starting quarterback. I don't think Gardner Minshew is the worst quarterback, but he's not going to get you to the playoffs. Okay. And if Aiden O'Connell cannot beat Gardner after what he just – after O'Connell's been under the system already – I'm pretty sure longer than Gardner. Yeah, because Antonio Pierce took over, and O'Connell had the playbook from last year and that connection. So yeah, O'Connell had a head start on Gardner. So yeah, I don't think the Raiders are going to be good at all. They're going to end up trading Devontae Adams by the trade deadline. They're terrible. And another weird thing is they keep drafting D linemen, right? But they all suck. They always suck. They only get one D-man right, and that was Max Crosby. That's it. Everything else, they always seem to like just trip over their own feet when it comes to that stuff. And I never understood it. So they get in their own way is what is what I'm trying to say. So. But I will say though, Hilton, if you guys play them during Christmas, don't fucking lose this time. Okay? Don't lose. Because that was when I saw that, my mind was blown. I was blown. Not in a good way. So, all right, guys. I love you so much. Thank you so much for coming to this stream. To everyone who watched this later, if you like the content, please sub. I love doing this. I do this daily. I do 49ers. Heck, I even do shorts all the time. That's like my main thing is shorts. But I go live. I try to go live every single day. Talk about the 49ers. My shorts, I talk about everything that's NFL and that nature. So, Tyler Helton. Before I dip, one last comment. Dude, they keep crybabies. Mashu is QB. They want to be Aiden O'Connell as one QB today. I'm trolling them all day today. As you should. As you should. That's football, man. Just don't make it personal. That's football. If their team makes a dumbass mistake, if their team is being stupid, if their team sucks, and you're in the same division, fair game. Fair game. You know what I mean? You have reasons to jump on them. I got you, brother. I got you. I get it. All right, guys. All love. Thank you so much for checking out the content. All love, fam. And I will see you tomorrow in the next video. Deuces.